coming at you once again, live from the internet, to your eyes, to your ears. We're everywhere. We're talking omnipresent on all the platforms. Who knows where you're watching it from right now, but I'm sure you're having one hell of a day. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is episode 31. Rumor has it on the rumor mills that this is going to be our best one. No offense to numbers 0 through 30, but the rumor mills, Hollywood News, Variety, all those Hollywood Reporter, they're talking big things with episode 31. I'm Lars Glassington here in LVHQ in Toronto. Co-host BK Broiler. What up, BK? How are you?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic, Lars. It is Monday Fun Day, and I'm ready to go.
Yes, yes. It was amazing. And actually, I lied. I'm not here at LVHQ, obviously. I am out in the woods enjoying some nature. I can't
believe you started our show with a lie.
Yeah, look. Look. I'm definitely in nature. Watch this. Ready?
Okay. Wow. That is great. So you're trying to hop into a fire? Is that what you're trying to
do? Yes. Well, we wanted to switch it up. Usually we have different backgrounds, so I'm here in the woods today. I had a great weekend. We had a real good showbiz weekend. Given the state of the world, obviously it's weird not having live shows, but we had an acting workshop on Saturday. I also had a live a global streaming release of a feature film that I was in called Super Hijabi. That was super fun. We both had auditions. We were here at the studio doing auditions on the weekend together. So we're like, yeah, we just been moving and shaking. I feel good. On top of all that, I got, I'm only showing you my Band-Aid mark right here, but I had a Band-Aid there where they stuck me with a needle. So apparently I'm superhuman now.
I mean, you got the first dose. Let's keep things realistic and make sure that everyone's staying safe. We are still wearing masks.
I'm stronger than ever, buddy. Yeah.
Did you get superhuman powers from
superhuman?
Yeah.
I don't think I reacted at all. I got it. In all seriousness and all honesty, I got it on Friday around 2:00. I feel like late night Friday or in the morning, maybe I had just like the mildest of feeling, like that pre-feeling when you're starting to maybe get a cold, but not even like nothing severe, no aches and pains, no headache, no nausea, just a little bit of like, I don't feel the best right now. And then it kind of went away. Saturday was great. Sunday was great. So I had like zero reaction. Nice. Except I have a strong craving for human blood. So I believe it's maybe turned me into a vampire. I don't know if that's part of it. Is that part of it?
That's probably something that you should probably see someone about that.
Ever since they stuck me with the needle, I've been wanting to feast on the blood of humans, and I don't know why. So I don't know if that's a side effect or what it is. But yeah,
this is why you don't have any neighbors, isn't it? They all just moved out this weekend.
No, none of that's true. But everyone was asking me which vaccine that I got. That's like the first question. Like, oh, which one did you get? Which one did you get?
You get the premium.
Like, since when is that a thing, right? Like, since when do we care about like brand names of our medicine? Like it's a Louis Vuitton or a Gucci or a Coach. Like, what you got? What you got there? Like, just give me the President's Choice no name. I do not care what all. But here's what I did. I
don't know if I want the no name vaccine. I'm gonna be honest with that. I don't know if I want the no name.
Well, then the marketing. You've been duped by the marketers. All they got to do is put a little logo in the corner, just like
when I hear no name brand, I like imagine that I'm going into an alleyway and just some person's just ready to stick me with that needle.
Yeah.
Like, okay, let's do this. We're gonna stick you now.
You're exactly right. For all these people trying to figure out where the vaccines are, you just need to go to one of your local alleyways. There's needles lying all around all over the place. Just grab one of them, take your chances, stick it in. It's got something in there. There's a little bit left in it, right? I think they should also be for all the looking around for vaccines. they should have just put them in Tim Hortons drive-thrus. That's the easiest way to do things.
This was the last episode Lars Classington filmed for the podcast.
These are my ideas. When I become prime president of the United States of Can America, I'm gonna convert Tim Hortons drive-thrus into voting stations and vaccine stations. So you can just do everything in one thing. Yeah. I actually do wish so when I went there, I think you should be able to ask for the swamp water of vaccines rather than have to choose, because there's pros and cons maybe for each, like they all got their little advantages and disadvantages and what each vaccine's good at and what's is not good at. So you want to go to the 7-Eleven, you want to get the swamp water.
Okay.
You mix them all in, they stir it all up in a magic bullet, and then you just jab you in the side, and you get a little bit of everything.
That at this point, that sounds sexy. That is the most erotic thing I've heard all day.
Maybe a little bonus vaccine. When I was there, I was like, hey, if I slip you $5, can you throw me a little dengue fever? And she was like, yeah, you know what? Throw me 10 and you got a little typhoid taken care of. I got my typhoid booster as well, too. Yeah. But,
all right.
I don't want to get too COVIDy, but I got my needle, and so far so good. I feel nothing.
Nice.
Same as before. I feel nothing.
There you go. And if you want to join the cast and crew of Laughing Vikings, please go to laughingvikings.com/join. We would love to have you as part of our cast and crew. Right. And if you are an actor, please take a screenshot and tag Laughing Vikings and 3 actor, comedian, creator friends to win a prize. And what did they win this week, Lars?
Right now, whatever you want. You can win an audition session. You can win a free acting workshop with Tom Todoroff Conservatory out of New York. You win my stand-up album. Maybe I'll buy a sandwich. I'll buy a lunch.
Ooh, wow.
Listen, prize winners, you get the prize you get. Prize winners can't be choosers. They're just like beggars, right? You just throw your name in the hat and just trust that it's a Laughing Vikings prize. So it's going to be pretty good. It's going to be worth something. It's probably going to be worth like over $10 up to maybe $50. A $10 to $50 prize. All you got to do is screenshot and share it out. So it's that easy. It's that easy. Yes.
All right. And I think without any further ado, we are going to play a clip for our special guest this week.
We got a good one today. Yes.
So let's play from Yuck Yucks. We got Chris Robinson.
My name's Chris. Big weed smoker. Love it. Happy about legalization. Best thing about legalization is you can fly with weed now. It's amazing. You can have an ounce in your backpack, just stinking up the whole cabin. The whole place smells like Snoop Dogg's fingernails. It's amazing. But if you got a full-size bottle of shampoo, fuck you. What is that, per plus 2-in-1, you terrorist? Sucks. It's the worst when they make you throw it out, too. Yeah, I paid $8 for this bottle of shampoo. You want me to throw it out? I'm gonna wash my hair in line. I don't care. I'll rinse with this guy's lemon Gatorade. He can't get on with that. But it's crazy because I remember back in the day, if you wanted to smuggle weed onto the plane, you would hide your weed in a shampoo bottle. Yeah, it was the scent. It's crazy how times change, because nowadays you gotta have your shampoo in your asshole. And it just kills, man. It really fucking kills. Especially if it leaks, burns a lot. But when I flew, I went to Moncton, New Brunswick. Pretty nice. It was all right. It's quite white, you might say. Which isn't bad or anything. It's just when white people haven't seen black people in a while, they have a lot to say. They can't keep it to themselves for some reason. I've been minding my own business. White lady stopped me. Hey, I just want you to know that I love that movie, Get Out. Okay? Alright? couple wiggers in town want to freestyle rap battle me and shit. Just minding my own business. Come put the cat, put it to his hat, land flat. I'm like, bro, we're in line at Sobeys right now. Can we relax? Wait till the parking lot at least. The worst though, the worst is when white people will tell you that you look like somebody else. It's never accurate. It's always, hey, anybody ever tell you you look like Forrest Whitaker? Like, no, no one's ever said that, and it hurts my feelings. This guy came up to me after a show, and he was like, hey, anybody ever tell you that you look like a black Max Domi? And I don't know if you guys know who that is. He's a hockey player. He plays for the Canadians. He's Ty Domi's son. And I was like, yo, man, it's not cool to go up to black people and tell them that they look like black versions of white people. Like, I don't know if that's racist, but I know it's not racist. So you can't be saying that shit. And then this guy had the audacity to pull out his phone and show me a picture of Max Domi. And like, I look exactly like Max Domi. It was pretty messed up. I'm a black Max Domi. I'm Black Domi. Yes. It's my new legal name, actually. My number one fetish, though, is fishnets. Love fishnets. I smash a dog with fishnets. Straight up, a fat Great Dane greased up as a fishnet could catch the good. Sometimes I'll just be at the grocery store and I'll see a bag of onions and be like, okay. Damn, what's that, GMO? You're looking plump today. Avocado's looking ripe too, shit. Fuck around and make guacamole in this bitch. We gotta clean up in produce. Black Max Domi's fucking the veggies again. Hurry up, he's moving to the Baby Bell cheese. All right, thanks for playing. Nice, Chris Robinson.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, our guest on episode 31, an award-winning stand-up comedian. He's taped for Just for Laughs, the Kevin Hart LOL Network, and he was the winner of the 2016 Sirius XM Top Comic. He won the big money, 25 G's. I think he spent it already by now. Been so lucky to spend some time on stage with him. He's a regular here at Laughing Vikings. His film and TV career is blowing up. Let's bring him on. Chris Snapshot Robinson.
Hey, this is what I spent that money on. Right here.
Yeah, you got that serious money in your mouth now. Nice.
What's good?
Welcome. Good to see you. Yeah. How you doing?
Good, man. How are you?
Welcome to the show. We're doing good. We're doing it all virtually here. I'm in the forest. Brandon's at his place.
I'm
here.
hanging out with my friend Woody.
Hey.
Yeah. But it's called. I mean, the painting's called Top Hat and a Penguin. I just think it looks like Woody Woodpecker.
Oh, so, nice.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
People say that my laugh sounds like Woody Woodpecker sometimes.
Let's hear it.
Sometimes it's kind of like a, just like a little.
It's there a little bit. I wouldn't say it's like fully Woody Woodpecker, but
yeah, not full on. But
yeah,
nice.
A little bit.
This is sick.
Good to see you. I've been seeing you. I feel like we've been seeing you at least once a week here at Laughing Vikings in person. But
I know you're probably some of the most consistent people that I've seen over the year.
Yeah. From 6 feet with masks, of course, but in the same studio. No, it's been
essential service. Okay.
The essential service of television and film and storytelling, so that everyone else doesn't blow their brains out and has something to watch on Netflix during all of this chaos. Yes.
Exactly.
So we want to get right into it, Chris. We got a ton of questions for you. Usually we talk about people's origin stories in show business, but our first segment, and maybe our favorite here, is a little something called 1 Minute Life Story, where you, Chris Robinson, have 1 minute to tell your life story. Brandon is going to throw the timer up on screen. You're going to come up on screen, and you got 1 minute to grip it and rip it and tell everyone at home about the life of Chris. Are you ready?
I think I'm. Hold on.
There you go. Stretch.
There it is. Yeah, get ready.
Stretch.
Okay.
Maybe stretch the grill a little bit.
I already took that out. It
Oh,
would be
took it
down to like 20 seconds.
Gotcha. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Chris Robinson's life story in 1 minute.
Hey, so I was born June 12th, 1989, to a Jehovah's Witness family, Jamaican descent, grew up in Brampton. I always loved acting and comedy, and I started to excel at acting and drama in high school, and then I started getting into stand-up comedy in grade 9 when I saw Dave Chappelle's Kill Them Softly, and then I went to the Humber's comedy program after I graduated high school, and then after I did Humber, I started acting and doing stand-up. Man, this is like, I'm basically done. Like, I'm like, I have lots of time left.
Keep going. We got to fill the time, buddy.
But then I met my beautiful wife around like 23, and then she got pregnant while we were on a road trip going through America, and then she gave birth to my son Carter. And if she didn't get pregnant, I wouldn't have time to come back and do my showcase at Just for Laughs when I did Just for Laughs and achieve my dreams. Hey.
Boom.
What a way to end that.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. And kudos to you. You had to complete that story because up until that point, you hadn't included your wife and son. So good for you.
I was about to be like, your son, Chris, your son.
As I was saying that, I was like, oh no, I forgot a crucial part.
Right. You meant career-wise and showbiz-wise. Of course. Yes.
But they still did help my career.
Of course. Yeah, that's great. That's great. Wow. Yeah. So we want to talk. We'll talk
first before we get into that. You were born to a Jehovah's Witness family. What was that like?
Yeah, it was pretty intense growing up.
Yeah,
it was like super, pretty strict. Got to. I went to public school, so that was like fine. I'd be like with friends at school and stuff like that. But outside of school, I'm not really supposed to hang out with too many so-called worldly people. Mm-hmm. So. Anybody who's not Jehovah's Witness. So, when I got into like teen years, I was basically like on lockdown, just going like, yeah, it was pretty whack. No birthdays, no holidays or any of that shit. Like my parents were loving and everything like that, but It's just pretty boring. That's why like all I did was watch TV growing up. It was just like all
what kind of shows did you gravitate towards when you were a kid?
Oh man, Simpsons and Seinfeld are the top two.
You were allowed to watch both of those?
Yeah, which is weird, because like I had cousins who weren't allowed to watch Simpsons, and I wasn't allowed to. I
wasn't allowed to watch The Simpsons either.
Oh, really?
No.
Well, for some reason, I guess because my dad was like, "Oh, it's a cartoon, so yeah, whatever. Like, it's fine." Yeah. Sometimes it was nice to have like foreign parents who didn't really know what was going on. Sometimes,
Yeah. I mean, the silver lining is you've been preparing for this pandemic lockdown for your entire life by being raised Jehovah's Witness. So you're just,
100%.
You're just used to not going to stuff. So this is like, you're like,
it just feels like I'm in high school again, just doing everything, jerking it like crazy.
What are you gonna do? Yeah.
All right, so Chris, we like to start things off by going back to the very beginning. So, can you tell us how did you get into performing, and what was your very first like production?
I'm the youngest of 4, and so I don't know. I guess I don't know if it's to get attention or whatever, but I'd always kind of be like trying to make people laugh in the house and dancing and cracking jokes and stuff like that and making videos. And then, so I always wanted to do that kind of thing. And then I guess my first like actual performance would probably be in like grade 7, like drama class. And, or no, actually when in the Jehovah's Witness congregation, we'd give talks.
Okay. Yeah.
So I would do, from like probably since I was like 7, I'd like get up in front of a room with like 100 people and like, I'd read passages from the Bible, and then as I got older, you get certain talks where you're not just reading the Bible, you have to like add your own thoughts to it and stuff. So whenever I was doing those, my dad's a really good public speaker, and so he would be like, "Oh, it's always good to make people try and make it funny and stuff, like you get people's attention. You got to get people's attention, And so, yeah, I feel like those were probably like my early like training grounds for like performing and things like that.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Church stand up was how you cut your teeth. That's awesome.
Basically.
Yeah.
Do you have any favorite passages that you still remember? I know this is a far out question, but yeah,
there's mostly like one is bad association spoils useful habits.
Nice.
A scripture, and another one that's like along the same lines. It's of like meaning. It's he who walks with the wise ones will become wise, but he who walks with the stupid ones will fare badly.
Right.
Yeah, those are the ones that I've always like stuck in my head, and I'm like, yeah, it's true.
It's true.
I always think of life as like you develop a like set of rules kind of thing as you go along, and it's not like anything specific. It's not like anything you write down, but you always remember like these little moments or these little quotes that like stick with you and make you who you are, kind of thing. And like that's really cool.
Yeah, there's certain things that just they just lock in for some reason,
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, that's definitely something I can attest to, especially getting into stand-up and stuff, like, and entertainment, finding different groups who you want to hang out with. And, like some people, oh man, these guys look sick. They might be killers. And then you find out like, oh, they're also like, really crazy cokeheads and stuff. It's like, yeah, it's cool to hang out, but you don't want to get like too close because
right.
might spoil your useful habits,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But yeah, just shit
I like
that.
it. I've heard it put, you can't fly with the eagles if you scratch with the turkeys or you scratch with the chickens or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You can't fly with the eagles while you scratch with the chickens.
Nice. That was in Revelations, I think.
Was it? Yeah,
No.
I don't know.
Passage 411, correct?
Right. In the book of Nostradamus, I believe. Yeah.
So, Chris, when did you first start performing stand-up?
I started when I was 18 at Humber Comedy.
Nice.
So yeah, they have a partnership with Yuck Yucks. So every Tuesday at 7:30 to 9, they had the Humber Night showcase, so all the students could perform. So as soon as I started Humber, I'd just go every Tuesday as much as I could, try and get some stage time.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it was sick. I remember like the first night too, just being like so nervous and thinking that like the guy who was driving us to, he was like late to pick us up to bring us to the show, and then we're in traffic on the Gardner. We're like, fuck, we're gonna miss the fucking show and everything. And they're like, if you're not here by a certain time, your name's getting cut off the list and you're not gonna get to perform. And we're like, oh my god, I was stressing so much. We finally got there in time, and I was still allowed to go up, so I was happy. And then I wanted to do stand-up since I was like 14, so as soon as I stepped on stage, it literally felt like a relief, just like oh my god, like fuck yes, like this is what I'm supposed to do finally.
Finally. Yeah. That was mine was similar in I did a Yuck Yucks amateur night in London, not associated with the school or anything, but my first thing was an amateur night at Yuck Yucks, and it was the similar feeling. Like I remember walking down and nervous butterflies. I was listening to 8 Mile, like Eminem and Notorious B.I.G., Juicy, and all those, all like literally the soundtrack from the movie Notorious and the soundtrack from 8 Mile. Just and just as soon as I got there, just the realization of like, oh, this is what my life is supposed to be like. And then I just never. Have you ever stopped? You've never stopped since then, right?
No. I mean, yeah, just this pandemic has been the longest.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, no, one of those things where I'm like, I don't know, I can see myself doing it forever until I'm sick of it, but I can't see myself getting sick of it. Yeah.
it's addictive too, right? It has that addictive quality to it. Something about the live atmosphere and the live reaction.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I don't know, dude. It's just just hearing laughs, hearing gut laughs. Like there's just something about it. It's just it feels amazing for both people. It's like when you both come. It's just like oh, all right. This is what we're supposed to do. This is great. This is what life is about.
It's about coming at the same time.
Yeah.
So when did it transition from school to like quote unquote professional? Like when did you start your first paid gigs, either stand up or acting wise?
Oh, so my first paid gig was probably later into like it was still in my first year of comedy school. It was just like some random bar in Mississauga. A lady was like, "Hey, do you want to?" I reached out to her to do an open mic, and then she was like, "Sure, I'll give you like $100 to do it." And then I got out a bunch of comedians. I still literally feel bad to this day because I'm like, I didn't know what the pay system was like. So I like got all these comics, and I think I paid a headliner $20, and I kept like 80, and I just like got drinks for everybody, kind of thing. But I'm like, I should have split the money between everybody, but whatever. What are you gonna do? That was like the first paid gig. But my first road gig was pretty sick. That was with this guy Jay Vegas. He used to run a show at a strip club in London, and that was like I don't know. It was just so fun, just like driving 2 hours in a car to do comedy, and then sleeping in the dirty like strip club motel after and stuff. You're like, yeah, man, this is cool.
Yeah, it wouldn't matter early on. It wouldn't matter what you got paid or where it was. It was just like, oh, this is awesome. I'm going to do this. Like could be some buttfuck nowhere town, and you're just like, oh, this is the best. I'm living my dream. I'm gonna make it. And then you get paid, and like you're paid $20 and a pound of chicken wings and 2 beer tickets, and you're like, yes.
Yeah.
You feel like early on, I remember feeling like I can't, but like it feels almost like you're scamming people, where you're like, they're paying me for dick jokes right now.
Oh, yeah.
This is the best thing ever. Like,
oh, it was incredible.
Yeah, my
now I'm like, if someone offered me $150 and sleep in a strip club motel, I'm like, are you out of your fucking? What are you talking about? Why would you even bring that to me?
Yeah.
It better be a Holiday Inn or nothing.
You're like, I'll do it, but just because I really like the stand-up part of it, I'm gonna do it, but I'm not gonna enjoy it fully. Yeah. Nice.
Well,
Yeah,
that sort of is a good segue into what's the weirdest place you've done stand-up?
Oh man, probably it would be a male strip club, and but it wasn't during the show, so it was also early on when I was starting out, and I was just looking for gigs on like Craigslist or Kijiji or something like that, and I saw this guy had a bar. So I was like, hey, do you have a host for this open mic? He's like, oh man, I don't have that bar anymore, but I have the strip club. I need a host. So how about you like come out? He's like, bring a suit, bring a tuxedo, and perform, and we'll see if you're good enough, and you can be like the host for the night. I'm like, all right, sick. So I go and I buy like some shitty like tuxedo shirt and like put on a suit, and I go to this guy's strip club, and I go downstairs, and there's 5. So there's like a painter who's painting. There is somebody behind the bar. There's a strip club owner who looked like exactly how you would picture a strip club owner to look. A track jacket that's opened up, the chain, and he has like a stripper sitting on his lap, like hair coming out his chest, like greasy hair and everything. And then there's 5 male strippers who are practicing on the stage. And there's 5, 6, 7, and there's like going the thing, and like one of them was like getting mad and shit like that. And then the guy's like, all right, everybody stop, hold on, the comedian's here. All right, sit down. All right, buddy. All right, perform. And then like I performed for like these 5 male strippers, a painter, a bartender, and like this other stripper. And then like I did like 10 minutes, and it was it was extremely uncomfortable. And
was that it? Like,
laughed. I think the painter laughed maybe at one joke, but the guy was like, "Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know if you got the chops yet."
and that was it. Like,
And you're like, thanks, strip club janitor. I appreciate you. Yeah.
I loved how they stopped everything. And we're like, okay, no, everyone get off the poles. We got a stand-up comedian in the house now. You got 10 minutes, kid. You don't do your thing.
And I didn't even get on the stage. I just like stayed like where I
just stand in front of it, like just in front of a pole.
Nobody came and surrounded me. Like everybody was still in their own spots, but just like we're watching from their spots. There's like a painter on a ladder, just like watching me, like standing up like this.
Right. Right. And the great thing about stand-up is it's all those awful, weird, quirky gigs where you're like, this shouldn't be a show. Like, none of this should be happening right now. Just like steals you and builds your like character and charisma for later in your career where you're on proper stages. And you're like, oh man, I paid my dues. But it gets you used to everything. So, because I always found with stand-up is you never know what you're going to get. And that's what's fun about it. And then as a result, after you've done it for a while, nothing ever surprises you anymore. You're just, and often you go in like, it's almost better to have zero expectations or low expectations, because some of the most disappointing times are when you're on the road and in your head, you're like, maybe it was a nice poster and the venue is nice or something, or you heard that the venue was nice. And then you get there and there's nobody there and it's just the whole thing's a shit show. Versus if you go in with no expectations, thinking that everything's going to be awful, then when it's decent, you're like, oh, this was a delightful surprise. There was a real audience. There was a stage. There was a sound system. There was lights. People knew that there was going to be a show. There was tables and chairs.
Oh, 100%. I have zero expectations, right? When I do a show, even if it's like a club gig, or like they're like, yeah, we've been doing shows here for years. And I'm like, there's still going to be some random thing that's like I did a gig last year before the pandemic, and it was a place that does shows regularly. And, before the show, we're like, hey, can someone introduce the host? And they're like, no. Like, that's what they do at shows though. Like, yeah, we're not going to do it. And we're like, okay. And they're like, can you like, and I forget what else it was. It was something like, can you like turn down the music? Like, or no, is there like some music or like something like that? Or like, but they're just like, no, we can't do that, man. It's just, you just got to do whatever it is. And we're like, okay, all right.
Yeah. You're like, okay, well, this is not how shows work at all. Like, yeah. A lot of the time,
not the first people to tell you that someone introduces us, but what are you gonna do?
I'm sure you've been on. You mentioned the music, but sometimes if you're in like a sports bar and the owners, they won't want to shut the sports bars TVs off. So there's like you're competing, like people are or sometimes behind you. You're on stage and there's the fucking Raptors game giant behind you, and everyone's reacting like you're mid-story, and then everyone's like, oh, reacting to something behind you, and you're like, great. Or pool tables. Sometimes people like they don't shut the pool table down because they don't want to scare away the locals. So you're doing your stuff, but people are playing pool and cracking.
Like huge crack.
Yeah. I did one where literally when we got there, the stage was stage, then a pool table, then the tables. So there was a pool table between us and all of the crowd and all of the tables and chairs. And we're like, why did you put the stage behind the pool tables over here? But we just had to do it. Like,
oh, well, it's the only place we knew where to fit it.
Yeah. You do learn a lot running, like being a performer and or running stand-up shows, you get used to like all the horrible setups. Like, no, you need to be able to see the performers. You need to be able to hear them. People need to be close to the stage. There shouldn't be poles. It shouldn't be outside. There shouldn't be TVs and other music happening.
Yeah.
Like, it seems like basic stuff, but maybe not common sense. Common sense, common practice. Yeah.
No, that's very true.
So we've been seeing you, as we mentioned, like every couple weeks here, maybe less. We've probably seen you once a week for like the last 3 months here at Laughing Vikings.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
You've been coming for most of the pandemic, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Sometimes started a little later. Talk about your experience here and what you do with your auditions. I know a lot of times you run them with Brandon too, so I'll talk my experience. But how has that process gone for you, and the whole self-tape and audition process during a global pandemic?
Man, honestly, I prefer it. I like to do the I feel like, because before I was still working a day job and everything like that while trying to do auditions and things like that. So since the pandemic, whenever I get an audition, I have way more time to actually just put into it, more effort to put into it, which is great. And then, I don't know, doing it at home or at a studio is just way more relaxing and more comfortable and more conducive to how I like to work, you know? And so I feel like I've been getting way more response since this than, you know, going into live auditions. Because I just get too in my head sometimes, you know, like I don't know what it is. I just, you know, when someone's sitting there and they're just like, I don't know what it is. Like I try and be comfortable as I can, but sometimes you can't do it. But yeah, with working with you guys, it's been sick, man. Brandon's like, I legit thought he was like an acting coach. Like I remember like working with him just because he gives me so many amazing suggestions and like always takes it to another level, you know. I always say that he adds the salt to the dish, you know. It's like,
thank you.
Salt, it's like you can have the best dish that you have and be amazing, but you're like, oh, but it's missing salt. This is trash, you know. This guy comes in, puts the salt in, you're like, oh, okay.
Not only salt, then he adds the pepper, then some spices, some hot sauce,
maybe a little spicy extra virgin olive oil on top. Who knows? Like
little turmeric.
What I always love about working with you, Chris, is like you always bring in so much to the role as well, and like you always like go for the improv bits, and you really like anytime you come up with something, it's gold. It's always gold. It's so great to watch. Like, and like you're always very good at watching me, because sometimes I get like, I'll do like gestures to be like, no, don't do that, or no, go this way, like something like that. You're just always on top of it.
Yeah, I know. That is interesting how we you'll have certain cues that I'm like, yeah, we never practiced that, but like whatever your cue was perfect, and I'm like, oh yeah, I get what he means in the moment right now, and it's like, yeah, adjusting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good team, man.
You were actually, I think, my very first regular. Like you just came, started with me, and then you stayed, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I've always loved watching your work, especially from like the very first one, which was the showcase, the BIPOC showcase.
Yeah.
You brought in a scene from it's a Western movie.
Yeah,
with Chris Pine and Jeff Bridges.
Was I should know it.
Either way,
yeah,
so well done, so well done. Like I always remember that. I watched that like 10 or 12 times after that audition.
Thanks, man.
It was just so well done.
Yeah. You helped me out tons with that one too. So yeah, and I got into it. I got accepted into that into the diversity showcase. So.
Oh, amazing!
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So thank
Oh,
you.
I didn't even know that. That's awesome.
Yeah. I forgot to tell you. I guess I should have told you.
Paid off.
Yeah, I love
yeah.
hearing that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris is gonna get booked for something in like Vancouver or the States, and we're never gonna hear from him again. He's gonna be like, "What happened to him?"
Oh, man. Still fly
6
back
months
for
later.
self-tapes. I'll still
Right.
fly back for self-tapes.
Oh, and we do Zoom self tapes as well. So like,
Right.
wherever you are, I can be right there as well.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, we've been zooming like crazy, and we should give a shout out to Grand Wave Entertainment, your agency.
Yes.
To Carolyn and Morgan, they're great. I had dealt with Morgan over the years through the Rivoli and through stand up and things like that, so I sort of knew him. But then I've started to know Carolyn through emailing back and forth, and they're super friendly. Carolyn's awesome. She literally almost, I think, always replies to the emails with commentary about the performance or feedback about the performance and thank yous. Like she's super nice and generous with her comments too. So
yeah.
I think what I'm most curious about is actually a question for Lars. What's a moment because you've heard most of Chris and mine sessions. What's a moment for you that stood out that you've overheard?
Well, I was just going to say, in general, one of my favorite things is being in the next room and I'm working away and I hear people like laughing and howling in the back room. Like that's my favorite. And then something that you do a lot, Brandon, is I'll be sort of hearing the scene and you kind of hear it, or maybe I knew the gist of what it was about. So I get a sense for what's happening. And then I hear like a moment of silence and then I hear Brandon go, yes, oh yeah, baby, yeah, oh that was so good, oh fuck yeah, woo, yeah, and like that's literally like I'm getting fired up doing it, but that's like I'm hearing it and then I'm like yes, this is going good, because obviously like my whole thing when I'm running sessions is you really want a session director who is vested in it and wants you to succeed. And then of course, when I started bringing people on to help run sessions, Brandon and some others, it was really important to me that they knew their stuff. They were solid actors, but they knew how to deal with people and knew how to coach, even though we don't, Brandon, you are a coach, you coach people. We just don't necessarily bill it as come to us with acting coach. It's more like actors helping actors kind of thing. But you do coach people and you do give feedback and you do give always. We've been really big on great suggestions, but that's one of my favorite things is just hearing you guys laugh in the back. And then the other day, a funny one was when it's an intense dramatic scene. So Brandon, for anyone who knows Brandon, he's the nicest guy ever. He's super friendly, just total sweetheart. But then the other day, Chris is in there, and I hear Brandon like, "Get out! Get out! You get the fuck out of here!" Like yelling. I'm like, "Oh, Brandon, you gotta take it easy on the clients here. I'm so sorry, Chris. Brandon, what has gotten into you?" So it's both of those scenarios where I hear you. I mean, obviously, I like hearing laughing more than swearing and yelling, but it's also funny to me that the two of you are friends and you're back there, but you're screaming at each other like, "Get the fuck out of my life! No, fuck you! I'll kill you!"
I know it's also funny too when they're like, he's my love interest too, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
I can't live without you. You know?
I'll never go on without you, Chris.
Great. Yeah.
But I know how excited he gets is, that's one of the reasons I love, work with
It makes you feel good too. It's like
it pumps me up too, so I'm like sick. Yeah, I'm like
right. Yeah, and in any situation in life, the worst thing ever, and the thing that drives us all crazy, is no feedback. And that's sometimes the challenge with live auditions is you'll go do it, and whether it's brutal or amazing, you could just get crickets in the room, and so you leave thinking, was that amazing or was that awful? Like, do I even know what I'm doing? Was that great? Like, and then you got to get to the point where you just trust your own gut and trust your own preparation and have the confidence that you're going to deliver the goods. But the nice thing about self-taping is you can do it, and then you get Brandon's reaction where he's like, "Yes!" And you're like, "Oh, it's a good one. All right." And
like, okay. I killed him.
He's like high five, and I'm like, come on, that wasn't actually.
I wish there's so many moments I'd be like, yeah, right. Can't do that now.
Right. One thing we wanted to share this is a little way back playback for you and I, Chris. So back in 2015, you and I were both cast in a dream job for Canadian comedians, a show called Almost Genius, which was an internet clipped kind of fail video, green screen sketch comedy show with 10, 12 stand-up comics. So it was you, me, Darren McIntyre, Nilu Handa, Sammy Fareed. There's Jason Agnew, Brianna, Liz Johnson.
Olivia.
Yeah, Olivia. Why do I always say Brianna? That's funny. When you said Olivia, I also thought Brianna. Liz Johnson, Chantel Canzanese. I know we're missing people, but anyways, that was for 3 months. I don't know about you, but that's the longest gig I've ever had, like continuous gig.
Oh yeah, it was sick. We made some racks off that.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we were getting. I mean, it was non-union, so we weren't getting paid like the crazy bucks. But at the time, that was by far the most money I'd made in showbiz. Like that was like.
Yeah, it was amazing.
And we'd show up and just put like fake beards and fake mustaches on and crazy wardrobe and go out and do this ridiculous stuff. So we have a clip here because you and I got to share the screen a decent chunk of times, I think.
Yeah, a few times.
And it's funny, I don't know about you, but when I booked that gig, I was like, well, this is it. I made it. We're just going to do this for 10 seasons. Then it's off to Saturday Night Live in LA. And this is my ticket. And you don't ever consider that there's ups and downs, and it doesn't always continue to go up and up and up. But that was a huge gig and one of my favorites. So we've got a clip. I believe we're going to show the clip from the Nutshot Awards.
And here we go.
All good nut shots have two things: a pair of nuts and something to hit them on.
They also have a third thing. The element of surprise.
Here are your nominees for Best Adapted Nut Shot.
Dale Underwood in I'll Never Live This Down. Dirk Nuthers in Ball Betrayal. Michael Johnson in Where's the Candy? Terrence Pipp in Sundown Falls Hurt.
And the award for Best Adapted Nutshot goes to...
Dirk Nuthers for Ball Betrayal.
Thanks, everybody. I don't even know where to begin. I want to thank my buddy Jeff for filming me and my masterpiece. I want to thank my mom for icing these.
There you have it, folks. Some highbrow humor. I swear to God, about 50% of that show was nut shots. I'm pretty certain if I look back over my clips, I could put together just a nut shot demo reel of my own things that I've been in. It was mostly nut shots. And that's because
I'm honestly surprised they even aired it. I was like, I can't believe when they told me they started airing it, I'm like, really? Oh shit, sick. Okay, cool. But it took a couple of years. I think it was a good 2 years before they were like, all right, we got to throw this out somewhere. But what's cool is it plays like all over the world. Because
they air the crap out of it. It's aired out everywhere, and we don't get an extra nickel for any of that. But no, it was really
hit me up though, and she was like, she sent me like a screen cap. She's like, my friend's in China, and she was watching TV, and she saw me and you like on TV, and she like sent me a screen cap, like watching us from like some hotel room in China.
Right. because nut shots are an international language. Nut shots break all barriers.
Oh yeah.
It's funny in all languages. Yeah. Yeah, it's an interesting show. So those of you who just saw it, who weren't aware of it, they would take internet fail videos and then they would sort of punch up the videos and insert us either before or in the middle, or sometimes it would just be our green screen heads onto the people from the real clip. So I don't know where they got all those clips. They just found random stuff on the internet and then pulled them.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Man, I remember the day I hated the most was like, I had to do some scene where it was a video of the guy who like jumps in a pothole and then he falls all the way into the pothole and he comes up and he's soaking wet.
Uh-huh.
So I had to get soaking wet for this fucking like video. And they're like, he's not wet enough, guys. We gotta, and I'm like freezing, shivering, and they're like, Chris, can you not look so cold? I'm like, buddy, I'm soaking wet right now. And they're like, all right. Oh, no, we didn't get that. Soak them again. They're just like spraying cold water in my face. I'm shivering. Oh, man. Actors life.
It was great. We were living the dream. That was like 3 months straight in pie in the sky green screen studios here in Toronto. It was pretty sweet. It was like Monday to Friday. We'd do table reads on Monday, and then we'd shoot 2 days for one episode. We'd shoot 2 episodes a week, and it would be about 2 days per episode. So I think we were doing 2 episodes a week. Yeah.
Yeah, about that.
Rainbow.
And then the craft services was sick.
Yeah.
Probably some of the best craft services I think I had on a gig.
Craft services were amazing. It was the best buffets. It was like regularly chicken and rib day. It was regularly taco day or fajita day.
I always subscribe to the fact that craft is always the best, and it's just great free food.
Oh, yeah. And they loaded us up. And then every day, too, they'd be like, all right, like, take your portions home. Like, I didn't, like, buy food for, like, the whole 2 months. It was great.
Yeah, I would just fill up with meat. Yeah, that was great. That was great. All right, what else do we want to chat with here? We got to start steering this ship back to port eventually.
Eventually, yes. But Chris, what we like to do in this show is we like to put things out into the universe. So what our question is for you is, what is your dream project that you aspire to create? It can be a person in history that you would like to play. It can be a play that you've heard. It can be someone, a stand-up comedian that you admire, that you want to play as well. What do you want to do?
I'd love to do it. I'd love to do if somebody doesn't already do it, like hopefully someone doesn't do it quickly. But there's this black cowboy named Matt Love. And, he has just an insane life. I read his autobiography earlier this year, and he just has a crazy life of being a former slave and then like being freed and then teaching himself how to ride a horse and then like going out into the West when he was 15 and becoming a cowboy and having a shootout with Indians on his like first day, like trying to be a cowboy when he was 15 and like just lives like this wild, crazy life that not many people know about. And like, not a lot of people know that there was, even black cowboys, but there's so many stories about that. So I'd love to do a movie about him or, any black cowboy just to shed more light on it. And because I love just Westerns and stuff like that. As you can see.
Makes sense. What's your favorite? You said Matt Love, correct?
Matt Love.
Yeah. What's your favorite story of Matt Love?
I don't know if I have a favorite one, but one crazy one was he was wrangling like some cattle. So some cattle that got lost out in the woods, you have to go and wrangle them up at like the end of the season. So he was going out wrangling some up, and then he got ambushed by a bunch of natives, by like Native Americans, and they chased him down, and I think killed like 2 or 3, and then he ran out of bullets, and then when they swarmed him, he like fought them as hard as he could, and then he was such a good fighter and like he was so brave that instead of killing him, they kidnapped him and tried to bring him into their tribe, and then they kept him for a month and basically adapted him to the life of their tribal life and stuff like that. And he was like supposed to marry the chief's daughter and like all this kind of crazy shit. And then one night when everyone was sleeping, after he like gained their trust and they believed he like wouldn't run away, he like snuck out and stole a horse and like galloped back to his ranch. And yeah, that was just one crazy one, but he literally has like so many stories like that. It's insane.
Cool. Yeah, that reminds me of a story of someone that was in the War of Vietnam, that like basically he was supposed to be court-martialed, and like then he ran away from being court-martialed, got into a tribe, and then stayed there for like months while they were like hunting for him. And basically he married the chief's daughter, and then they found him. The U.S. Army found him. Then he ran and joined a different tribe, became the chief of that tribe, and then eventually they finally were able to get him him back into prison. Yeah, it was a cool story. I'll send it to you later.
Yeah, that sounds sick.
Yeah.
It's an autobiography?
No, I found it on. Do you know the YouTube channel, The Infographic Show? They basically like cartoon and animate a bunch of stories from history or like different like facts and things. So like I think they did a video of what would happen if the sun went out today.
Oh, okay.
And like, yeah, super cool shows.
Yeah,
great on YouTube. Yeah, I'll send it to you.
Yeah, definitely. I want to see that.
Yeah. So Chris, we do have one more clip to show everyone. But maybe do you want to give like an introduction to this clip? Like,
yeah, sure. So this is a clip from web series that I was on, The Amazing Gail Pyle. And this is from the final season, where Earth is in an apocalyptic state. And this scene is right before we're about to sacrifice somebody to, I'm not sure why. I can't remember why, but we're about to sacrifice somebody, and I'm pumped up about it. And there's somebody who I have as a slave because he's from Barrie. So in this world, people from Barrie are a lower level person, and he's a slave.
And the reason they are is because it takes place in Aurelia, which, fun fact, is my hometown as well too. So I've got a little Gail Pyle connection there.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's roll the clip.
Roll the clip.
Tip the tongue to the palate. Do you want to run your lines or? No, I'm good at it. No, just want to keep it loose. Yeah. Can't believe we're finally gonna kill this chili guy in front of everyone. Yeah. Pumped up, you know. I'm almost horny. Yeah. It's really something. Jesus, man, you look like shit. When's the last time you ate? Yesterday. Here, you can have my leftovers. Are these your old chicken wings? Yeah, I was full. If this is out of line, I'm sorry, but you're a really good actor. It's just wonderful to see you access the places you do and to bring us as an audience with you on that journey. It's really moving. That really touches me. Thank you. I couldn't ask for a better slave. And I don't want to be anywhere else.
That was great. Yeah.
Mobster boss over here.
An actor playing an actor is always a nice mind fuck for an actor too.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really interesting. Like the character was so I was playing a guy who's on a reality show. Mm-hmm. So there's a reality show husband, and he's not interesting enough. So they bring in an actor to pretend to be the reality show husband. Nice. So I'm the actor who's pretending to be the reality show husband.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I liked how excited you were to kill that guy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I was like, this is gonna be a happy killing.
Right.
It was really cool.
Chris, what would you say to either someone looking to get into acting or stand up? Maybe this is a two-part question. A, for that category, what advice would you give someone? And then maybe B, the second category is maybe if someone is somewhere along their journey, but maybe stuck or trying to get to the next level, whatever that may mean. But can you just give some advice to people who are aspiring to showbiz greatness?
Yeah. Sorry, what was the first question again?
The first part for being someone who's looking to get into it from scratch. And then the other part of the advice could be for someone who's already in it, looking to get to the next level.
Okay. So for somebody who's looking to get in it, there's literally no like good time, because you're always going to be like, oh, maybe it'll be better if, when I'm more established, or like when I save a little bit more money, or like this, like there's never going to be a better time. Just do it now, because you'll 100% regret it if you don't. Like not knowing if you'll make it is way worse than not trying. And so just go for it. And who gives a fuck like if you suck at it at first, because everyone sucks. And don't expect anything either. Just like have no expectations, like we were saying before. Like you can't expect to be like, oh man, I've been doing this for 2 years. Why aren't I getting anywhere? Like you can't have any expectations. Shit will happen when it happens, and all you can focus on is being you. And for people who are already in it, kind of same thing. Like just keep grinding. That's all it is. Just follow your gut. As long as your gut's telling you to keep going, then just keep going, because the only way to fail is if you quit, basically. So just put your head down, put up the blinders. Don't look at other people's shit. Don't be like, oh, he got this. Oh, so I don't know why I'm not booking anything yet. Like, you're not booking anything because it's just not right for you. That doesn't mean you're not good or anything like that. It's just people. There might have been someone who was perfect for that role, and you might have just been good for the role. Soon along the line, something perfect will come along your hands, and then there'll be other people who are like, fuck, why did he get that? Because it was fucking perfect for you. That's why you got it. So, just be patient, keep grinding, keep your eyes on your own plate, and you'll be good.
Boom. Love it.
Boom.
Love it.
I love
I love the idea of being okay with sucking in the beginning. I used to always tell people that too. It's just like, it doesn't matter whether it's stand up or anything in life. Just as long as if it's something you're trying for the first time, presumably you're going to be the worst at it the first time. And then you get a little better and you get a little better and you get a little better. So just like get the suck out of the way now, so that 10 years, 20 years pass and you can be well on your way. And also just, it's not a destination. You got to enjoy you sort of talked a little bit of for the love of the game. You got to like doing it now, and you're not doing it so that you get this thing in 10 years or 20 years or whatever. You just got to love it and do it and have fun doing it.
Yeah.
And doing it well.
Yeah. And do you have something to add, Chris?
No.
So that's a great way to go into a quote to inspire your week. Lars and I like to pick a quote for every week that we do this show, just to get us into the mindset and get us going for this week, because you might as well seize this week while you can, correct? So today's quote comes from Kevin Hart, who is an actor, comedian, and entrepreneur. The quote is, "The only time you should look back in life is to see how far you've come." So why did I pick this quote? I know for me, I've leaned towards overthinking and will overanalyze a situation or audition I've had, and that doesn't help me or you. I was looking back through a lot of Laughing Vikings old footage recently, and I stumbled across an old self-tape of mine, and I couldn't even get through the very beginning of it because I realized just how unhappy I was and how much I needed something more, and I needed something bigger in my life. And so one of the things that we're learning in Lars and I's class with Tom Todoroff on Saturday is the 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. And one of those agreements is to not take things personally. In that he talks about how no one knows what you're thinking. So it's best to verbalize how you're feeling in the moment, or write it down so that it doesn't fester and become a bigger problem than it is. And whether you like it or not, you're always moving forward. And there will be struggles along the way where you will fall on your face and you won't know what to do. But those are the types of moments that will define your character. Make sure that you learn from those moments and you don't let them pass you by. Don't let your struggles crush your dreams. Let them push you further than you could have ever imagined possible, because you're worth it.
And gosh darn it, people love you.
Hell yeah.
That was great. Yeah, Kevin Hart and Don Miguel Ruiz. That was like a twofer we got there.
Right?
Yeah. And be sure the listeners and viewers, if you want to check out a free class with Tom Todoroff, we do the Saturday workshops. You can go to laughingvikings.com/links and you can link it up. And while you're there, you can subscribe to the newsletters. You'll get first in line for any giveaways, and you'll get notified about our new episodes and all the happenings in and around LVHQ. Be sure to subscribe everywhere. We're literally everywhere. And so share this out and tag some friends. All right.
Chris, thank you so much for joining us this week. It has been an absolute pleasure talking to you, as it is an absolute pleasure working with you whenever we get the opportunity.
Thanks, guys. This was fun, man.
High five, high five.
Boom,
Yeah.
boom,
We'll
boom,
see you
boom.
tomorrow in the studio.
So remember, before we go, remember to tune in next Monday, where we will be going live at 6 p.m. We do this every Monday. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you, Chris. Have a great week, everyone. Inspire yourself and love those grills.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.